Hello, my name is Lauren. I'm 17 years old, and welcome back to the Classics in Color. Today is my third step on a 12-part journey of spotlighting the history of classical music and opera and its impact on the arts, culture, and society. Today, I will spotlight the legendary Marian Anderson, one of the true pioneers of classical music and someone who has shaped my love of it. Marian Anderson was a contralto opera singer and civil rights pioneer and a shining example of how to combat racism, segregation, and misogyny. Marian Anderson was born on February 27, 1897 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She was the oldest of three girls. She loved music and began singing in her family's church choir at 6 years old. After graduating from high school, she applied to a Philadelphia music school but was turned down because she was black. While she was discouraged, Marian was determined to chase her dream of becoming a great singer. Her first big break came in 1925 when she beat out 300 singers for a solo role with the New York Philharmonic. At Carnegie Hall, Marian noticed that she was only performing for black audiences. She wanted her voice and songs to reach more people and to transcend prejudice and racism. In 1928, Marian left the U.S. for London to further her education and to begin a lengthy touring schedule. By the early 1930s, she had established herself as a world-renowned classical singer. During her time in Europe, Marian noticed that she did not encounter the same racial prejudice there as she did in the United States. Returning to the U.S., Marian again experienced deep racism. In 1939, the Daughters of the American Revolution, DAR, refused to allow her to sing at Constitution Hall. As a result, thousands of DAR members, including First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt, resigned. The Roosevelts then helped to arrange a free, open-air concert on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial on Easter Sunday. Over 75,000 people of all races attended, and it was heard by millions over the radio. In 1943, Marian accepted an apologetic invitation from the DAR to perform at Constitution Hall. Marian agreed to perform only after insisting there be no segregated seating. Anderson said there was no sense of triumph. She truly just wanted to sing because it was a beautiful concert hall. Miss Anderson advocated for equity and inclusion on her tours. By 1950, she refused to sing where the audience was segregated. Marian was a trailblazer, consistently opening new doors for performers of color, especially black women. In 1955, she was the first African-American female vocal soloist to appear at the Metropolitan Opera, performing as Ulrica in Verdi's Un ballo in Mascara. In 1957, President Eisenhower appointed her as a delegate to the United Nations Human Rights Committee, and she traveled around the world singing and promoting goodwill. She retired from singing in 1965. Marian Anderson won numerous awards for her singing and humanitarian works, including the 1963 Presidential Medal of Freedom, 1977 United Nations Peace Prize, 1977 Congressional Gold Medal, 1978 Kennedy Center Honors, 1986 National Medal of Art, and a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award in 1991. Marian Anderson lived a quiet, private life. In 1943, she married architect Orpheus Fisher. The couple tried to buy a farm and were denied many times because they were black. They finally bought a 100-acre farm near Danbury, Connecticut, and named it Mariana Farm. Orpheus Fisher died in 1986. However, Anderson stayed on the farm until 1992, before moving to Portland, Oregon to live with her nephew. Marian Anderson died on April 8, 1993, at the age of 96. Marian Anderson's legacy is one of struggle, greatness, and ultimately triumph. She tackled many prejudicial obstacles and lived to be one of America's most influential singers. Miss Anderson pioneered the movement that made singing and opera a career that Black and brown singers could pursue and make a living. She was a role model and inspiration for other Black singers, especially classical singing legends that followed her, such as Leontyne Price and Jessye Norman. Anderson's way of confronting racism was to offer herself as a model of Black excellence, rather than speaking out explicitly about politics. When I sing, I don't want them to see that my face is Black. I don't want them to see that my face is white. I want them to see my soul, and that is colorless. Marian believed music is a depiction of the soul, and she wanted people to see that, not the color of her skin. Thank you for joining me today on my third episode of the Classics in Color. I hope you enjoyed it, and please tune in for episode number 4, where I'll dive a little deeper into the essence of opera, what it is, and why I love it. Thank you so much, and see you next time.